Welcome to Neon Static. I'm Eric Hayden.
I'm Nick Mason, and this is our second game from the May 20th circuit opener down in Cambridge. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. This is ASA Group versus Freedom Kumalo, both IDs that are not seen too often. But yeah, bringing some interesting spice.
Yeah, and this is Charlotte on the left and Dan B on the right. Dan Bouchard of you probably know him from the internet and Netrunner fame. And Charlotte, I'm not sure if Charlotte does too much online playing, but she's a strong player in the local Boston scene, so it's a lot of fun getting to play against her. I did not get to play against her in this tournament, but you did, Nick, right?
I played against her twice in a row.
Nice.
We basically swapped sides. It was like playing a dual-sided tournament.
Yeah. So Charlotte's on ASA Group. ASA Group trying to go kind of wide and get some ice out. Probably one of the key cards in this list is fully operational.
Yep.
And I feel like that's a card basically built for... Oh, no, that's still ASA Group. Let's try this again. This card is fully operational. And it seems like what this ID is really trying to do is install cards, getting ice, one piece of ice in front of them, getting 2 or 3 servers at least in that state, and then playing fully operational to get to draw 6 cards and gain net 5 credits off of one action, which is pretty bonkers.
Well, fully operational is you choose one, isn't it?
2 credits or draw 2 cards. Yes.
Yep.
Shows that I haven't really played ASA Group. I feel like that's an important distinction now with ESA out there in the world. Nick and I have decided that saying ASA Group as one unit is much easier.
It's required.
Yeah.
It's all one word now.
It looks like Dan took a mulligan here. And we don't have Dan's list on hand, but we do have Charlotte's. So we'll be guessing a little bit on what Dan is playing here. I imagine Freedom. I haven't seen very many modern Freedom lists, but I imagine you'll see his trusty stick, Knob Curie, and probably that cool breaker. What is that cool breaker? Xer.
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
No, not Xer.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yusuf. Yusuf is a cool breaker that Freedom can use all the virus counters that are being generated to break barriers for very little money or no money. So open of Ice Hedge Fund. Very classic start from Charlotte.
Well, Ice install and hedge fund. That's the other thing about ASA Group is that it generates you another click, basically.
Right. Ice install and then technically free install. There's Yusuf. So Yusuf making an appearance very early, which is threatening quite a bit. That's a Rashida alt art. Fantastic start if you ever get to do turn 2 Rashida.
Yep. So this is the other thing that ASA Group can do is, it's not just going wide, because if she were to install something new in that existing remote server, she could install more ice in front of it.
Right.
Doesn't waive any of the costs except for the click, but even so, it can be a way to sort of build up that death server, especially if you're playing a lot of upgrades and that kind of thing. This deck isn't. It's got 1 Mavirus and 2 Managarm Skunkworks. But that's... Can you tell I've been thinking a lot about building ASA Group decks recently?
Yeah, that's great. I can't wait to play against it. It looked like Charlotte got more value from the ID getting a 2 install single click there.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, Dan moshing into a steel skin, a alt art simul chip, I think,
Is that what that is? And
and a knob curie.
yep.
Moshing into a steel skin is pretty great.
Always feels good.
I mean, you're drawing 6 cards off of this.
Five.
Dan looking pretty rich over there. And yet, Yusuf down with no real way to break because there's no virus counters out there.
Yeah. Turns out you need virus programs.
Oh, there's a way to break.
Although-
Moshing doing some work, getting a paper clip and a black orchestra into the bin.
He could theoretically charge Yusuf just by running archives over and over. Same way a lot of people do with the turtle.
That's right, because whenever you make a successful run, you can place a virus on Yusuf, but that's pretty inefficient.
It's super inefficient, yeah.
Yeah. Was that a spin Dr. Rez at the start of Charlotte's turn?
Yeah, that must have been the one that she put down.
Yeah, it was. But okay, so double install here. So we know that.
And is that an ASA group install? I forget if it's. Yeah, so that was another ASA group that was an install of an upgrade and probably an agenda, maybe an asset.
Right.
Another one where you get value from it. So yeah, the first time I was reading it, I thought it was just ice, but no, you can really build up a death server pretty quickly with upgrades, assets, things like that.
Right. And we know based on the list that is either a main garm or a Mavirus. And I think Mavirus would be pretty sweet here, considering who the ID that Charlotte's sitting across from.
Yeah.
What alt art are we looking at there now?
That top one?
Under Yusuf.
Oh, I have no idea.
I think it's a hippo.
Yeah, I buy that. Seems a perfectly sensible card to put in your deck.
Yeah, 2 costs. It's unique. I think I can read hippo on there. Yeah.
Click 3. I'm going to Dirty Laundry the Rashida to get rid of it.
Dirty Laundry the Rashida. Did Dan see that? He said that out loud. I'm going to Dirty Laundry the Rashida.
Last click. I'm going to.
Oh, there's a drafter that got res there. Okay. I think I missed some of that.
This here.
Botulus going down on the drafter. Resing a Maryland campaign. So now would be a good time. Well, an okay time to spend one of those fully operationals. There we go.
Yep. Yeah, so it ends up going off 3 times. That's not terrible. The other interesting thing about it is that you can do the card draw first and then decide if you want money or more cards. You don't have to kind of commit to your division right off the bat.
Right. You can each time for each server you can make the decision fresh. Draw. Yep. Did you get your cards you want? Okay, then get some credits or keep drawing. Yeah. Sounds like you got to build this deck, Nick.
I tried to, and it ended up like 75 cards, and I didn't know what to cut. So
yeah, that's
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
need to whittle it down a bit. But
every time I play an LCG, and every time I build a Netrunner deck, it's like, well, and this, and this, and this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I can't leave home without.
If you're playing Fat Ob,
Chernabog or whatever,
works great.
Yeah.
not over installing the botulus.
And third click, I am going to.
It is Anarch, so maybe there's some thought that over installing the botulus would. I mean, it does slow down a little bit.
Get recurred.
Yeah, but yeah, it would get recurred if you trashed it right away. I might anyway. There's a larger chance than with a lot of people.
So hedge fund for final click and then pitching a card. We see a daily cast in Dan's hand, one of 2 cards.
That is one of the harmonic ice.
Oh, it's a wave, I think.
Yeah.
No, that's a pulse, isn't it?
It must be because of the power counter.
Why does it look so much greener? Or is it an echo?
Oh, yeah. It's the one that gets end the run every time you res a harmonic ice. Is that Echo? I know card names.
It is echo. I was going to say that's more like it.
There it is. Yep.
And a steal of an Ikawa project, which are not easy to steal because you have to spend a click and 2 credits. Kind of Fuele's tax on a 5/3.
Yep. Which makes it one of the worst self-defending 5/3s.
It is the worst,
would
but it's
say.
still better than nothing.
For sure.
Accessing a seamless from HQ.
Why am I telling you?
So, right, the seamless, that is a great use of Freedom's ability. So seamless is a key piece of this deck for Charlotte. 1 cost, and Freedom. And I think that Charlotte just reminded Dan very nicely of Freedom's ability. Like, do you want to trash this with Freedom?
Yep.
And Dan said, "Oh yes, I do."
Definitely yes.
That's the power of the disruption of Freedom is just like these high impact, low cost events, like fully operational and seamless launch, are in danger.
Yeah. The one that I'm thinking of actually now that I realize how that works is stock buyback.
Oh my God, yeah,
Right?
that's such joy to hit a stock buyback as a Freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, shut your whole deck down.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think right now it is a good thing to do. I do want the Maryland back.
Shuffling back a Maryland here.
I do get an ice install, which I will do in a second.
With Maryland's built-in trash ability.
Which came from over installing,
Oh,
not
Then
not letting it run out normally.
Right.
And then she installs ice there, and then double advances. So yeah, so 2 advances and 2 installs.
It's pretty good.
It's a pretty good ID.
4 clicks a turn, kind of.
Yeah. So long as you are installing 2 things in the same server.
Right.
It's a pretty restrictive 4th click, but still.
Useful for these moments where you're like, I need to jam this now.
Yep.
And where did the virus token on Yusuf come from? I missed that.
Successful run, but I'm not sure what.
Oh, it might have been archives.
No, because there's still a face down in archives.
Oh, okay.
It was whatever. It was when he got through to the hand and then trashed
Oh,
the
HQ.
seamless.
It was just kind of a late track.
Yep.
I would have rather probably, you stole that and I stole that, but that's not how it goes.
Looks like, that was a Global Food Initiative score. Somehow missed that as well.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they played fast through that.
That was the install double advance.
Yep. Yeah, I figure it has to be a 5/3, but
Yep. Dan using one of those chunky casino dice to track credits on daily cast. Running HQ here. Break and then successful puts it right back.
Yep.
2, 3. It's gonna be this one.
Seeing a gaslight.
Ooh.
Singleton
Yeah,
in
I
this
feel like-
list.
Yeah, I feel like you have to trash that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, and you can do that with Freedom for 0.
for 0.
That's because you saw Dan pick up some money and then remember Freedom's ability, and yep, away it goes.
Right. Now that the backside or the downside to that is if he's planning on running anything else, and you can't, it's a once per turn ability, but it's still, I think that was correct for sure.
So let's click 3.
Sure.
Click 4. I'm going to run R and D. I'm going to break, and then
Right. I mean, if trashing the Seamless for 1 was worth it, then trashing the Gaslight for 0.
Okay, but like running R&D here, breaking for 2 virus counters, one off of Yusuf, one off of the Fermenter, which is generating them for free,
Yep.
then hippoing the ice. Like insane value out of these breakers. I didn't think of Fermenter as a virus token generator for Freedom. Pretty good. Also,
Yeah, it's
the
not
one
bad.
on Botulus as
folks
well.
Yeah, I guess technically, isn't it? It's basically the same as Botulus itself, right?
Yes.
But it allows you to use Botulus if it's sitting on ice you don't care about or a server you don't care about
Exactly.
to pay for breaks on other
Other
interesting.
barriers, at least with Yusuf.
Yes.
And there are other breakers for Freedom for the virus token support, but they're not nearly as good.
Yeah.
I think the usual approach is run Yusuf and then like other things. And now Knobkiri is also doing a lot of work here because every time you make a successful run, you get to add a virus token.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of plays like a Padma deck almost.
Yeah.
A lot of charging, but in this case, those virus tokens are somehow even more fungible. They can be spent on more different things.
Fungible. Nice.
It's a good, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, you can turn them, you can pick them up off your Botulus and spend them on your breakers or whatever. That's really cool.
Right.
I like that as like a flexible power counter kind of idea.
Yeah. Very versatile. Yeah. Drawing. Running R&D. With a new piece of ice, which is another drafter.
Okay.
Which there's no way for Dan to break, so it's firing here. Pulling a hedge fund back from archives.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Drafter can trigger ASA group.
Yeah. On the opponent's turn.
Yeah. It's the first time each turn, so
Yep.
that is interesting.
But
so she just
Charlotte
got something from archives to install.
Yep. Oh, did she take something other? I thought it was hedge fund. And Charlotte did not capitalize on the ASA group install ability there.
Right.
Seeing a fully operational, this is going to get trashed for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh well. Oh well, says Charlotte. That's the attitude, Charlotte. Oh well. And a draw.
She does only have 2 cards in hand now, so that might be just a lack of things to install in that server.
Fix easily with the Rashida Jahim.
Mm-hmm.
Bouncing back nicely. Resing a Nico campaign. I think things are starting to look bad for Dan here.
Yeah. Yeah, that triple ice server is going to be difficult to break any way you cut it. He does have a fair amount of money.
He does. He does. That's true.
And he's got the other 2 bin breakers.
Yep.
First I will hedge fund.
It's not the worst position,
And
but
now
yeah.
here's Charlotte getting even more money. That's some good value. And here, one card install.
Then I will install this card.
So what were the clicks there? Hedge fund, 2 separate installs.
Yeah, looks that way.
Rashida before that. Yeah, just a lot of actions going on without clicks. Dan loading up virus counters diligently.
Getting rid of a Friday chip. I got
Moshing into
drawing 3 cards.
Friday chip.
Can I look at this simulation?
That was a Getchpon and a Simul chip. I love the art on Friday chip. Love it.
Oh, that is pretty cool.
The Nico campaign.
Sure.
I'm going to put 1 here, 1 here. So that's where the map. I'm going to pay 2 to trash. 3
Accessing and trashing Nico campaigns with credits? Was that credits or was that virus tokens?
I think that was virus tokens.
Yeah.
That
Kind of makes sense. I think he knows at some point he's going to have to run at that protected remote.
Yes.
You want to keep every penny for that. Cracking the fermenter for all that money.
Let's run
Running the big boy.
Mm-hmm. And Charlotte doesn't have too much money. I mean, 13.
13. No res in the
But-
first dice.
I am going. 1 sec. I need to check if it's actually in this.
Having to think about the second one.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to res.
Now, if that's an upgrade, it's either Mavirus or Managarm. And I think Managarm's going to give Dan some issues here.
I gotta
Well, no,
think
he's got
that's
the
a
money.
border control.
Yes, I think that's the border control alt art, right?
6.
So to fully break it.
Well, we see a paperclip coming down, so that makes sense.
I did. I had a bunch of money before. Yeah.
So in that case, is he conserving the virus tokens to trash stuff with?
Possibly. Oh
'Cause
man.
he could just use Yusuf to get through that.
3. And then it is.
Oh, it's a Fairchild 3. That's what that is.
Boost it up
Ah,
to,
scary.
3 for nothing. 3 to boost and break. 2. And then maybe another 3 for that.
Spending a lot to break here.
It really doesn't matter.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right?
So it'd be 9 total.
9 total.
Yeah.
Off of right, Black Orchestra.
2, 3 for the install.
3 for the install.
3 to bring it up to strength 4, and then 3 again to bring it up to strength.
Oh, so it's 12 for all the subs. It's 9 if Dan wants to break 2 of the subs.
So a total of 12.
Yeah, total of 12. He's coming to the same math here. Ooh,
Yeesh.
that's expensive.
Yeesh.
I mean, the alternatives are trashing one of Dan's installed cards once. And I
Right.
don't see any that would make any sense.
Right. I mean, if you trash the Black Orchestra, it's 3 to get it back. That's the same as
It's the same.
paying the other cost on the Fairchild. So
Yep. And then the border control.
Yep.
After paying 12, that is a good use of a border control.
Yep. But Charlotte is now very low on money.
Yep. And a seamless.
Got a seamless. Seamless and then a double advance
Oh, perfect.
for
It's an
off-world office.
Yeah, that's a great bounce back.
Yep.
Really clutch to have that there. Back up to 7 credits. Went down to 0, right? Yeah.
Yes, yeah. After she,
One for the seamless and then
Double
the other
advance.
two. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
Credit perfect for bouncing back there. And Charlotte now on 5. Game point. What is the agenda Charlotte is looking for? She has 1 GFI on the deck, 3 Akawas, a Luminal. So either the Luminal, really the Luminal, I think, is what she wants the most, or another Offworld.
yeah, one of the twos, but
Luminal's a 3/2 though, so
exactly, yeah.
I guess any of them if she's holding a seamless in hand.
Spend a Yusuf. Actually, no, I'm gonna spend a credit.
Yeah,
Keeping
makes
the
sense.
Yusuf
Well, if that's the case, then she's drawn all 3 by now.
here. 6.
I don't know.
This one here.
Oh, there was one trash. She played one. That's right.
Yeah.
And I missed what access that was.
Last click.
Something on HQ, but I don't know what. Wasn't trashable, or at least trash worthy with freedom.
Dan's not, HQ is the easy option here, but Charlotte's got a strong enough server there and the ability to put another piece of ice on it as soon as she installs something that like HQ is probably not going to stay heavy with agendas for very long, especially with the spin doctor on the table. So Dan has to figure out a way to get either through this remote or through R&D.
And get back a
The Fairchild is just nasty. Okay, and then popping the spin doctor to get a seamless and something.
and a fully
Something.
And a fully operational.
Fully op. Yep.
Perfect. That's a great way to hunt for that final agenda.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good opener. It's a good closer card. Ugh. Yes, seamless launch. I see you. There we go. I think Charlotte thinks that the game is coming to a close in her favor. I would if I was sitting on her side.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I don't know what Dan's running for multi-access, but we haven't really seen any yet.
Here is another spin
Oh,
doctor
right
for
back into a spin doctor.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
multi-access options. I mean, the twinning doesn't really make too much sense in this deck.
Chestushka is an option.
Yeah. Hedge fund. So just building back up some money to res some of this nasty ice.
Yep.
Yeah, it's funny. I kind of feel like an install on R&D just to trash the botulus to get rid of some of the virus counters is not like the worst thing.
Right. Just one fewer thing ticking up virus counters. And then if Dan wants to spend time doing a retrieval run or something, I think you're okay with that, especially with the money situation like it is right now.
Right. I guess a labor rights would pull it back if you needed it. And pulling a botulus over onto that Fairchild would be pretty amazing at this point.
Sure.
Oh, that's I guess the other part of the acceleration of this, the Knob Curie, Dan's fermenter there. I haven't been paying attention, but I have a feeling that wasn't down for 4 turns and got 4 virus counters.
That's true, especially because he also spent at least 1 virus counter off of it as part of the trashing cost, I want to say.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious if there was a moment in there or if it ever makes sense to just purge here because it's leaning pretty heavily into virus counters. But I feel like in 2 turns, Dan can have most of this back.
And I think, well, it's an additional cost, so I don't think
yeah, I guess the question is, what is that?
This is a bloop.
Oh. No, that's not a...
Yes, it is. She just de-resed the
de-res,
Echo.
Yep, de-res the Echo. Okay. I was looking at the Echo. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not a bloop.
Core damage hitting a daily cast.
Yep.
On this drafter, and then 2 for that. We'll put 1 on Yusuf.
and
And drafter is a barrier. Is that true? It's a sentry.
Yeah.
Oh, all the bin breakers are out at this point. That was a Maryland or a Nico. It was, I think, a Maryland. Charlotte not finding the agenda that she needs here.
Oh,
Jamming
got an
something
install
using.
there. Yep, there's the ASA group install.
Yeah.
But only 5 credits. You really want to make some money here, I
Yeah,
think. So
yeah.
You can realistically threaten those reses and still have enough money to advance whatever you just installed.
Right. Uh-oh. I feel like if there was easy econ in the hand, it would get played right now.
Yep.
Unless this was this would be a fantastic kind of fake out. I mean, so we see 3 Marylands in hand.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, those are 3 Maryland campaigns. That's the original art for Maryland. Taking a credit.
Gain a credit, yeah.
So I feel like this had to be a really good ploy. And this is a spin or something.
Think so?
Something that,
just trying to drain him of...
right.
Yeah.
I think that was an install and that Charlotte knew what she was doing here.
Slow played the turn a little bit.
Yeah.
That is one thing.
Okay.
Charlotte's normally a very fast player.
Popping a spin.
We're getting 2 hedge funds back. Maybe this doesn't matter. No, wait, we're getting a seamless
I think did Dan run the spin doctor?
I'm not sure if he ran the spin doctor or if he ran at the that protected remote.
It was the spin because he didn't spend the resources to get through Fairchild.
True.
Nor did he access any of the cards. Running HQ here. After the draws from spin. It was not a bad play from Dan there, trying to force draws and then go into the server that Dan believes that, Charlotte's not interested in resing ice here.
Actually, I don't think I do.
No res.
In my HQ.
So that's going to go here. That's going to go here. It's going to be this one. And that will get trashed for 2 Maryland.
Trashing one of the Marylands for 2 virus scanners.
That Yusuf is getting loaded up.
Yeah.
Seamless.
Yeah, I thought like that. So Durham and then I advanced.
Is this
And
an
there it is.
off-world?
That's game.
Yep. Wow.
It was an agenda. That was
Yeah.
ballsy.
Yeah.
I think Dan had the credits to get through that server.
Probably
Yeah.
between credits and Yusuf and everything.
Yeah. So I felt like it was an excellent game on both sides. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Definitely.
Has me excited to try both of those IDs in the modern format because I haven't played either of the. I've never played Acer Group, I don't think. When it came out, I don't think I ever played it, but I did enjoy Freedom quite a bit and I'm interested in giving that another shot. So thanks to both players and for you watching. If you're unaware, this is game 2 of a tournament. We have all 10 games of the tournament that are lined up for commentary, and we'll be working through those over the next week or 2 and look forward to getting them out. And yeah, if you like the stuff, let us know. It feels good.
For sure.
Anything else, Nick?
I think that's it.
Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you next time for game 3.